protection warriors are known for their big crits and tons of stuns, so I'll make sure to use roar or sacrifice early to avoid critical strikes. The longer the fight, the worse protection warrior becomes. Better option would be to start with freezing trap to force a trinket. Since I used immolation trap, it's useless now because I would cancel the effect. I expected intercept and shockwave right after, so I used Bestial Wrath to avoid CC. Here you can see the timing of steady shot while intimidation is active. If my Bestial Wrath expired by now, I would use Deterrence to avoid the charge. Enhancement Shaman should be focusing your pet, so if they do, make sure to use man pet and pet follow action and try to kite as much as you can. If they don't, it's easy job. You can expect a freeze from Shaman in his opener, so prepare to use Master's Call and disengage. You can see his insane critical here, so you can also use a roar or sacrifice to avoid it. Then I used the Feign Dead, so his wolves lost target for a second and came back to him. Then prepare for deterrence to make space again. While running away, don't forget to use Snake or Frost Trap. For second Shaman, I could roar Chain of Lightning and save Shadow Melt for Lava Burst, but he was squishy and it was GG anyway. You can see here Hack Main at its best, Rogue camping on the top of the roof and Affliction Warlock running around and baiting people. And he's also spitting at me, but it's alright, I will talk to his friend in a few seconds. As you can see, they are still trying to bait me, but I won't fall for it. There is also a spawn, so I had to fall back. I was at half HP and the Warlock saw the chance for attack. I have to mention that I'm using this build without exotic beasts and with readiness, so I can use 2 times Deterrence and 2 times Feign Dead. Also I'm using a Ravager as my pet to try some combos with his knock. It seems pretty fun and OP. Now let's get back to the Warlock. If Affliction Warlock is not casting, there is not much you can do, just do the damage. Wait him to cast some spell or to use Fear so you can react with Feign Dead or Bestial Wrath. As you can see, I was prepared for that coiled and I used Shadow Melt to completely avoid it. Then I used Deterrence for unstable affliction, I cancel it, then I used Stun. As soon as Stun expired, I used Knock to make a CC chain, and it worked. This happened while I was playing my Feral Druid. He killed me, so I logged my Hunter. Also, I have to note that this guy is full season 7 gear, so he's wearing Relentless in this video. Affliction has low cast on spells, so you need to be ready for his every move. I fainted his first unstable affliction, then he followed it with Haunt and Coil, where I used Deterrence to deflect them. And right after, I used Intimidation in combo with Steady Shot. I could use Intimidation to interrupt him again, but it was not necessary since I already deflected his Coil and I could freely use Shadow Melt. We have Unholy Dead Knight with season 7 gear, but before we start I wanna mention that you can't kill Dead Knight if he focuses your pet. I'll point out some of my mistakes I made here, which can help you. When he greet me and used chains, I would usually use Master's Calls and disengage his marksmanship, which I did here too. That's a waste of 1 defensive cooldown, because I can simply use Bestial Wrath and break all CC and save Master's Call. Then I used Deterrence for no reason, because I was probably afraid of Grip or Chains of Ice. One of the excuses for this would be the dueling zone, which is far from open world or battlegrounds. This was the perfect time to use Master's Call, which I wasted, so I needed to use my readiness. I used Intimidation after Shadow Melt and somehow I pulled it out. But this one was very poor duel. As you can see now, it's much easier to open in battleground environment. I use Quick Knock at the start to make him think he's far behind and that he needs to use Grip right after. That's where I use deterrence right after knock expires and deflect the grip. Then I use fast stun to keep him away while dealing some damage with Bestial Rat. And like always, Holy Paladin started healing him from behind and I couldn't end him. I even tried to use Tranquilizing Shot in between to remove Sacred Shield, but it was all in vain. Master's Call on Chains of Ice and then disengage with some Snake and Immolation Trap. I would have surely won this fight. I waited him to use stun so I can use Bestial Rat. I used Intimidation to make space, so he used Hand of Protection since he was more PvE, and I immediately casted Tranquilizing Shot, but I failed to dispel it. I set my pet to passive and to follow me, so Paladin cannot make heal procs on my pet. I started chasing him with Aspect of Cheetah and continuing to kite him. A Tranquilizing Shot dispelled Sacred Shield. When I saw Priest, I immediately switched to him and put down a freezing trap when Pala came close. Pay attention to Priest cast, use Feigned Addon Vampiric Touch, pass deterrence when Paladin come, and use the time to set a freezing trap for him. Now don't use traps and damage over time effects, just readiness and freeze Paladin again, tranquilizing to try remove wings, which won't break the freeze, and then start again. I was killing an AFK Warlock here and I wanted to cap a base. Then I saw 3 enemies coming. I saw Feral coming from my right side, so I sent my Chimera on him so he cannot use stealth, and set a snake trap and disengage back when he charged me. Then I saw Rogue coming and immediately put my flare around me so he cannot open from stealth too. I also set a freezing trap to isolate him from fight, but Feral took a chill pill and retreated for short time. So I switched target to Rogue. Very important is to make space, mark the Rogue with Hunter's Mark so he cannot just vanish, and open with rapid fire. Feral Druid charged me and I ordered my pet to use Intimidation when he arrives, and it was perfect timing for Scare Beast, which would be awesome CC, but I forgot to use it. As you can see, another Rogue was coming, so I used another flare on me. Killed the Druid and Rogue opened in meanwhile. I waited 2 or 3 seconds for my freezing trap cooldown and the trap just disappeared and didn't freeze the Rogue. Probably my pet cancelled with 7 seconds cooldown spell, which was really unlucky. Anyway, I shouldn't have trinketed the cheap since I had Roar of Sacrifice and Deterrence up. This guy is like 5.7k Gearscore, has around 11,000 kills, and he's using free action potion, so guy was complete monkey. I used instant Bestial Wrath to cancel cheap shot and avoid next kidney. I saved Roar of Sacrifice if he vanishes and somehow open again. Trinket saved for blind. I used Intimidation, but he was immune and just vanished, while I had still global cooldown. So I had to improvise with Deterrence, then feign dead, and 2 seconds after with Shadow Melt, so he lost target 2 times in 4 seconds.
And all the fake friends just keep pretending. That's how the little things get you.
And that's it guys for voiceover for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you do, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'll post some more scenes but without commentary. Peace guys, and see you soon in the next video.